What's up, everybody? Welcome back. April 5th, 2016, live from Redhook here at the Function House. We have none other than DJ Sinatra. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys? How's everything going?
How are you?
Good to see you.
Yo, your busy schedule. Thanks for taking the time out to
Come
do this.
on, man. You know I'm gonna come check out the Function House. This is my crew. These are my boys. You know, I'm happy to see you guys doing it.
We're happy to have you here, bro.
Trying to bring some new things to the world.
Nice. So listen, what I like to do is I like to start at the very, very beginning with every person who comes in here. So let's talk about from the early days of Sinatra.
The early days? Well, I was a kid, grew up on First Place, played baseball, liked to do some normal things like everybody else, save up money to buy Jordans.
Save up money to buy Jordans.
You know, stuff
You're rocking
like that.
some Jordans tonight. What
Yeah,
Jordans you got on
Yeah,
tonight?
the infrared sixes. You know, I pull them out of the box and then they go right back. Only come out for like communions and like special occasions.
Well, you walked in barefoot in here. I saw that.
Because they can't touch the ground, Mike.
Plastic bags wrapped around them.
Yeah, you know. When I go to a club, I put a sock over my foot.
So how did you get into the music industry?
So, and then I've always wanted to be a DJ. I mean, I always wanted to have turntables. My dad was in a band, you know. He always had the technology, the CDs, the reel-to-reels.
Yep.
I grew up across the street from a DJ, you know. Shout out to John Enrico. He was like the neighborhood DJ at the time, and I was like, damn, I want to do that. But I never really could afford the equipment, and every time, like I said, I saved up the money. And the new Jordans dropped, I spent the money on that. So I never got a chance to buy the equipment. And then one day, I think you had a friend that was selling equipment. So I gassed up my younger cousin, Giancarlo, and Gabe, and Eric. They all chipped in and bought this equipment. And we went to the kid's house, and we came home with all the gear. And I didn't have to spend $1.
You know, if I remember the kid's name, I would have shouted them out, but I forgot.
But you remember that at that time?
I went to school with him.
So then we ended up having the equipment in the basement. I would get out of school at 2:30, so I would run home and get home before my cousins who went to 58s. They would get out at 3. So I would just take over the whole thing, and they would be like waiting on me. And they're like, "Bro, we paid for this." And I'm like, yeah, just a couple more songs. I used to get a top bill in vinyl. I used to have a top bill in acapella, and I used to put it with different beats. We had the Scratch Master with the sampler in it. Like, those were good times, you know, and that's probably where I started doing it. And then in 2001, I became really serious about it, and I went to music school, School of Audio Engineering.
What made you become serious about? Like, when did you know, like, this is what you wanted
Well,
to
I
do?
worked in the cable company for 3 years, believe it or not. And
Yo, that cable company truck was always parked
Come on,
outside his
man.
house.
Come on, don't put
and
that-
he used to sleep in the truck. He never worked.
Come on, don't say that. There might be some old
They could be
bosses
watching. They could be
watching
That
me
is
right
like,
now.
what year was that?
That was in '97 to about
Yeah, no,
2000.
you're good. After 7 years,
Yeah,
they erase it.
erase
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So I did
you're
that
right.
for a minute. I hated waking up early. I hated, like, who wants to do that kind of job, you know? So I just didn't want to do it. Not knocking the profession, but that wasn't for me. So then I went to the school, 2001. My parents were like, you know, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, let's try it. So we invested into the school. I went there for a year. It was changing my life. After that, you know, I just kind of like went on this path, try to become a music producer, studio engineer. Like, I wanted to be like Diddy, but then I realized it's very hard to do that.
Sure.
And not anybody could just go pick up an MPC and a Triton and become the next Diddy. So, like,
So after you graduated the school, were you like interning,
I
going
didn't
and
have a
working
job for a
studios?
while, but I knew Stretch Armstrong, who was a famous DJ, you know, legendary guy in hip hop, and he used to see us out in nightclubs and be like, "Yo, what do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm trying to do this music thing." And he had a studio he was opening up, and he asked me to intern there. And for months and months, I would call him, and he was like, "No, it's not ready yet. It's not ready." Meanwhile, my parents are asking me, like, you know, what's going to happen? We just went to the school. Now what? I was like,
Sure.
just be patient. You know, things are going to change. There's a guy who's going to give me a job, and you know, we'll be able to do it. And then about 8 months later, he gave me a call and was like, you know, meet the other owner. If he likes you, you could be an intern. That doesn't mean I was going to get any money. This means that I was going to clean up, throw garbage out, sweep, go to the store, pick up Dutches, go, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
get drinks. But it was awesome because I was in a great place with a lot of talent, and that was the major thing. Being in the right spot with the right people, and having those opportunities that a lot of people would probably kill for. You
So
know?
who were some of the producers that walked through those doors that you?
Well,
that you had a chance to meet?
production-wise, I mean, at that time, we had like the Heat Makers. In the middle room, we had Mark Ronson in the back room we had Red Spider, who was producing all of 50 Cent's. And 50 Cent at that time was the major artist that just got signed to Eminem, and now he's working.
So he was rolling through the doors at the
Dude,
studio?
my first day on the job, the guy comes in, he says to me, he goes, you know, we needed you to do a session today. Now I'm like, shit, I don't even know anything about this. Like, I knew it, but like, I'm not ready to like do it professionally, you know?
Sure.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm fronting like, you know, I know, yeah, I got it, no problem. Who is it? He's like, oh, it's 50 in the G unit. I'm like, oh, really? So I'm like, all right, cool. So, you know, it was a crazy time. 50 came in there and like, it was 40 guys. We had to shut the elevators down. It was such a crazy moment. I could remember it like it was yesterday.
It was probably surreal for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was really...
First day on the job.
My first day walking into a building, thinking I'm just going to be sweeping up, and I'm recording 50 Cent 8 Mile remix for the Eminem movie.
But that's how it happens.
I guess for some people it does.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how it
For
happens.
certain people, because I know the guy I worked with at the time, Pablo, he used to be like, man, you're a lucky dude, man. He's like, I've been doing this thing for 15 years, and I never had anything happen to me like that. So I kind of feel really blessed and lucky at the same time, and just trying to make the most of all my opportunities. You know, I want to be able to bring people. I want to make people happy. That's my main thing. I want to make people happy. I want people to enjoy music, have a good time, produce stuff, promote stuff, whatever it is. Just I want to promote positivity. I want everybody to be happy. Like I always ask people in the club when I'm on the mic, I'm like, I want you to feel good. You know, because that's what we're there for. We're there to give you a good time. We're there to make you have fun, to make you like go home with a smile and be like, you know what, I had a bad day today, but this guy just made me have the greatest time of my life tonight. And I forgot about my problems for that moment.
Yeah.
That's our job, you know. That's what it's
all about
yeah,
being
that's
a DJ.
what I want to. That's what I like to do. You know, that's what I bring to the people, and that's why I guess I've made it this far. You know.
Yeah.
Just doing that, keeping a positive vibe, and doing things to like help people out when they're feeling sad. Basically, that's what it comes down to, right?
Right, so back to the studio. You were in the studio, you recorded 50, you were working in the studio, and then eventually you gravitated towards DJing.
Yeah, well, when I started to DJ and I wanted to take it serious, my boy Sal, Sal
Morale.
hit me up.
Shout out to Sal Morale.
Sal Morale hit me up. He's like, yo,
In
man.
Japan.
He's like, you want to go to Japan to DJ? And I was like, yeah, well, man, who wouldn't want to go to Japan to DJ? So I was like, hell yeah. So I just decided to go. And at the time, Anthony was like iffy about going. And then when he heard I was going, he's like, hey, man, you want to split it and we go together? And I was like, let's do it. And we went on a plane, 14-hour flight, right? What was it? We didn't know where we were going.
Now, when you were going down originally, you were going down like to MC, right?
Yeah, the first time I went down was to DJ and to MC. But because Anthony was more talented DJ, and he knew he had more experience, like I trusted him like doing prime time slot, you know?
Right.
Like I would open up, I would be on the mic. My thing was just like being on the mic, joking around, walking through the crowd, having a good time with everybody, taking selfies with a camera before people had camera phones. I was doing all that, in the club, and just wanted to have a good time and make.
So you're the one who started the selfies?
I wouldn't say I started the selfie. I didn't say I started the selfie.
This guy right here started the selfie.
But let me tell you, I have selfies from 2004. So if you have a selfie from 2004, send it to my Gmail. Seriously. But nah, we had a good time. So we went out there and like, we didn't know what we were getting into.
His digital camera game was right.
Yeah, what about I broke his digital camera?
First day I had the digital camera.
I came down Shibuya, I'm taking the overhead shot, I tripped, I stumbled, the camera went tumbling down, and he sent me a bill in the mail.
We're here for a month, you better
But
get
yeah, so we got
He
another
still
camera.
talks about that.
I know. He's like, yo, you owe me 45
He
cents.
still talks about that.
You owe me 45 cents. 45 yen. Nah, but so we went together. We would go for 2 weeks. We ended up staying there for two months. And like, when I came back from there, I was just like, damn, man, I want to do this every day because we were just having so much fun.
And you guys were like celebrities out there, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, at that time, we really weren't celebrities, but we were just like kids from New York. So like, they were already intrigued by that. They were like, oh, like these are the kids in New York hanging out, their style. Let's see what kind of shoes they wear. Like they just wanted to know what we were doing, like
Sure.
what kind of stuff we were doing. They had their own styles, and we kind of like went to their. I went and I like gravitated to their style because I'm like, shit, I already know this stuff. Like this is stuff I already know. What do you guys have? And they had like so many crazy
they got, like,
things.
Sneakers that are dropped in different colors and stuff.
Just like it was just a cool time for that, and it was a dope era, and it was just like that's when like I remember coming back. These guys opened up a store. I had like 50 pairs of sneakers in my duffel bags. They opened up a store. I carried back 50 pairs of sneakers.
He got caught in customs.
Now I walked through customs. They were like, "Yo, why you got all these sneakers for?" I was like, "Cause I'm a sneakerhead. You know, I collect them." They're like, "What do you do for a living?" I was like, "You know, I'm in music. I'm a DJ. Like, this is what we do." And whatever. They really didn't say anything, but I was able to come through that time. and I think I got a pair of like Jordan 6s out of it, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so that was it. You know, just going to Japan, opened my eyes to the world. I met people from all over Russia, Brazil, like Canada, South America, not even South America, yeah, South America, but like Australia, mad Australians, all like cool people from France. Like, you just started to see that it was a bigger world out there than just the one I grew up in New York.
So when you were playing out in Japan, how many nights a week were you playing?
We played every night. We played whenever we wanted to. I would go call a bunch of friends up that we made friends with, and we were like, "Hey, you know, you guys want to have dinner and a party?" They were like, "Hell yeah!" So we just gathered a group, and I would go to the club and just go open up a couple of bottles, and then we made a party out of it, and that was it. And the club was so cool, and they let us do whatever we wanted because we were creating a vibe. It wasn't just like, "Oh, we're promoting a night." It's like, no, this is a vibe. Like, this is every night. This is what we do all the time. Like, if you want to hang out and party, you come in and you do it with us because that's how we do it. Like, there's nothing fake about it. Everything we do is, this is it. This is it. We have a good time. We have fun. This is what life is about.
Yeah, sure.
Life is about having a good time and living out your dreams and doing all the stuff that you wish and when you wake up in the morning you want to do, we do them. Like this, that's the bottom line.
So that must have been a great feeling.
It was awesome. It was like, yo, you could wake up and do what you love. That's the most important thing in life.
So how long did you, so you were consistently DJing in Japan for pretty much the beginning of your career,
yeah,
right?
Like the beginning, I went there for 2 months with Anthony, we DJed. Then I went back in January in 2005 and I DJed for 2 more months. But I was just mostly with Sal. I was doing some engineering for him for some fashion shows. Like, he was cool. He was like, "Yo, I need you to do his fashion show music." So I would program the whole show, and he flew me out to Japan and like put me up for 2 months at his house, and we stood in the, we had a little apartment, but it was all free, and we just got to hang out in the club every night. So I was like, shit, I'm not running home. I'm gonna enjoy this. And then I came back home to New York, and then we always were switching DJs around. So Giancarlo would go out there, I would go out there, Vitale would go out there, and then in 2007 they asked me to stay for a longer period than 3 months. So I went for like, I think the first, it was like 10 months. I went to Guam one time.
So you were out there 10 months straight?
Visa. No, you couldn't stay because we only had 3-month visas. So
right.
I think the first time I came back for Deli's wedding was that July, and then I went to Miami for a week. I met a whole bunch of kids. That's when I met a whole bunch of people down in Miami. They made me. I was sleeping on my boy Tatanka's couch and DJing all his parties, and he was doing all the dopest parties. So he opened the door for me in Miami. Went back to Tokyo. Stayed in Tokyo until about October. After my birthday, I think. And then Carlo came back. And then when I came back to New York, that's when I started to like, damn, I got to get a job in New York. And now this is not as easy as it is over there. And
sure.
Competition in New York is crazy. We got all the dopest DJs.
So how did you break into that?
So Sal had his party going on, so I would work with him at this party called Kush. We were doing this Wednesday party, but then that party got, it ended. Like, something happened or whatever. And then that's when I started opening up for Jusky. And then I was doing Butter on Monday, which was the hottest party on a Monday night. And they gave me a shot, Sal hooked it up. I went down there, Just was like, let me rock one set. He was like, bro, I want you to do it all the time. So I was opening up for him for a minute. And then that's when One Oak opened in 2008. One Oak opened, soft openings. I was doing all the parties and shit. It was cool, I didn't know. It was a new world for me, like being in that scene. But it was cool because that's where I knew a lot of my people growing up in nightlife. That's where you wanted to be. So I was doing Oak for a minute. I DJ'd Richie's birthday. It was a crazy night. He had like Robin Thicke on stage with a piano and Jay and P. Diddy, like all the big dogs, Leo, like everyone's there, and I'm DJing this party, and I'm like, this is crazy, like, wow, this is what's up. So, and after that night, then we started, like, I did a good job, I guess, and then we started this Tuesday party called Tight Jean Tuesday, and that was me, Sal, and like all of us, a whole bunch of crews, different people, And we did that party for about, it lasted almost like six years probably. I don't even know. The numbers might be off a little, but the party had a run, and I was their resident. I was there every single Tuesday, you know, and then from there I would go to different other clubs, and I started doing the grand openings at every other club that opened at that time. From 2008 to 2009, 10, like any club that basically opened in New York, I did the grand openings for. You know, a lot of people don't probably know that, but I did, and whatever it was, like I had a residency at each of those places. I had a Monday party, I had a Tuesday party, a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I basically was working 7 days a week and grinding, doing that DJ grind, traveling, but traveling wasn't really popping that yet.
So that had you making your chops, though. I mean, playing 5 nights a week.
I was working I was DJing 5 hours.
You know, that sort of builds up your music selection,
everything,
your mixing.
Everything. I was open and closing for myself. You know, DJing 5 hours, playing 275 songs a night. And I had fun back then because I would set up the tone. It's funny that we're talking about that because last night, for instance, I didn't have an opener. I DJ'd at Avenue, and I didn't have an opener. I just went. My manager's like, yo, just go there, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that you send the opener, they don't like the opener, so you have to kind of like...
I like to open.
Yeah, like, I mean,
opening's
you know what
great.
it is when you're doing it so many different nights a week, it's like, if you're there, your body's not there.
But then you're setting up the room because a lot of the times you don't know who's opening up for you, right?
Right.
And
No, well, I send my open. Usually we send our own openers, but if there is another, you're right. If they send another opener and that guy's just doing something that's
like
totally
if they're not,
wrong.
because it's so important to have the right person opening up that room. Because
Exactly.
if they're not opening up it, if they're not opening up right,
Listen,
they're not setting it up right for you.
In order to be a great DJ, let this be clear. In order to be a great DJ, you had to be a great opener, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? The whole world knows that. Every great DJ knows that. Like, there's no one that goes to be a headliner without putting in the work of going to open up and doing all the stuff that took you to become that headliner.
Yeah.
You know, so anything that, you know, if anybody was to ever say like, oh, well, you know, what did you do to get, I got a whole list of shit to show you, you know, so I don't feel like anything's ever been given. I feel like there's been opportunities that have been made, but that comes with everything, you know, everyone has a different shot of doing stuff and, you know, a different opportunity and it's what you make of it.
Sure.
You know,
Something really dope that you did recently was the New Year's Eve shit with Pitbull.
Yeah, that was cool.
Talk about that. That was
my
a
first.
really good look.
That was my first time on TV. My boy David, who's production, he did the thing. He's friends with his cousins actually with Ruben. Hooked him up. They gave me a call. He's like, "Look, I got this great gig for you. I think it'll fit you perfect." And it was awesome. I was able to be on stage during New Year's Eve with Pitbull for that first episode of his New Year's resolution, and it was a great experience. I got to bring my girl, shout to V-Rat. So we got to go and celebrate, bring in the new year in Miami, and also be on television. Like, as soon as I got on air, my phone blew up. Like, and I got so happy because it was just something that like makes you proud because the people that have been supporting you and the people that have been like following your whole journey, it's like they see you on TV, they're like, yo, that's my bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were so psyched, and I fed off that, and I just thought it was awesome for that to happen.
So what is like? Would you say that was like probably the illest gig you did?
It's one of them. I say it's one of the best notoriety-wise. Yeah, it was. You know, you're on TV, Fox TV. Like, this is like the major leagues. You know, is it the best thing I ever did? I wouldn't say it would be the best because I've had so many crazy nights and so many ill events.
Talk about some of those crazy nights.
One of my favorite parties I think I did was 2009 when the Yanks won the World Series. They won it in New York, and they won it, and the party was in One Oak. And I'm hanging out, like, I have my A-Rod shirt, the Yankees, this, that, and everything. And A-Rod's brother comes and gives me the wristband from the game, like, from A-Rod's game. Like, I'm wearing it and the thing. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Derek Jeter's right there, Teixeira, like, the whole Sabathia. Like, I'm like.
So you must have been pumped when you were playing.
Like, yo, psych. We are the champions, like, about 10 times in a row. Like, you know, and the whole place singing it. Like, those are moments that you never forget, and those are like some of the cool things. I mean, I've done so many of my friends' birthday parties. I've gone weddings. You know, those are always memorable too. You know, like you go to somebody's wedding, it's such an intimate moment with their family. I go to Miami. I've done like 10 weddings of these people in Miami that are so nice. I've done one, and now 5 years later, I've done about 10. And I see uncles at the party. They give me kisses, hello, you know, hey, how you doing? And grandmothers, hey, how you doing? So, you know, it's
That
cool.
feels good.
Yeah, it's cool. And I'm part of that. I'm like, I'm like, when I get married, I'm gonna have all you guys come up to New York for my wedding.
Right.
But those are just things you meet, and people that you meet along your journey, you know.
Talk to us a little bit about preparation when you're going into a night, your music selection, because I mean, I've heard you play a few times, and you know, I've heard you play in open formats, and you go all over the place sometimes, which is nice, where you sort of touch everything.
Exactly.
So talk to us about what goes into you as a DJ putting together your music selection.
To be honest, my whole thing in my life was always wanted to be the first one to have music. I always wanted to have the hottest songs, the newest song. If it was on a Clue tape, me and my boy Rob would go down to Fulton Street. We'd go get the
Beach Street?
new Clue. No, we didn't even go to. Well, we went to Beach Street, but we used to have the guy in the cut who was the African dude who sold all the CDs. You get 5 for $20. So we would go get the new Clue, Big Mike's, K Slay, whoever it was, and then we would drive around Fifth Avenue pumping all that stuff. And we always wanted to get the new music.
Right.
You know, I always wanted to be ahead of everything. Like, I was a guy back in the day that would record off the TV and record a video music box video to cassette, because my dad had it rigged that way. And I would go to school the next day with the new DOS effects on tape, and the kid was like, how do you even have it? The single's not even out, you know? And I was like, I recorded it from TV. I was like ahead of my time, and I didn't really even know it.
The selfie, he was recording from TV.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm
This guy's
technological.
done
I'm technological.
So you've been spending a lot of time in the studio.
Yeah, man.
Talk about what you're doing in the studio.
Well,
every time I talk to you, you're in the studio.
We have our studio. Shout out to my brother Nem. He knows he's in Jerusalem right now. See you over there, boss. I see you over there, boss. You're probably watching us right now laughing, but it's all good. Now, me and Nem, you know, we started doing music. I met Nem in 2009. He used to hit me up online. You know, I was doing the One Oaks, and he was trying to get in the scene and stuff, and he wanted to come to New York to DJ, so he hit me up, and I used to be like, yo, it's cool. I really had no power at that time to help him, you know. I was like, well, if anything I can do, I'll do. Right. And then he would end up getting a gig, and he was opening for me at Oak, and I was just like, oh shit, like, this is the guy. He sent me a set of 80s music the first time I ever communicated with him. He's like, yo, I got you. And he sent me 5 folders of 250 80s records. I needed it for a project. So, you know, he's a good dude, and me and him started to you know, we had the same taste in music. We both like the same kind of thing, you know. And going back to our preparation is we always want to have the newest, the latest, and the greatest. So we figure okay, we could play everybody else's stuff, but how can we really capitalize on it? And we're gonna make our own stuff. We're gonna make our own music. We're gonna make our own stuff, and we could play it in the club prime time, and no one could tell us anything.
Sure.
As long as it's good. And that's when we started. So we started this company called La Cocina. We work with a bunch of artists. We have Cups, we have Zach Downtown, we have Daytona. You know, we did a song with Pharaoh. We've worked with Rotimi. We have a couple of girls, singers. We're writing music. You know, we're trying to do this whole movement. And we opened up a studio last August. And you know, it's been great, man. We've getting a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback. You know, you might get something, you're always going to get bad, you're going to get good, but we're getting a lot of positive feedback. And the thing that I can tell is when I'm playing it in the club, it goes off without a hitch. I could play one of our songs right after the hottest record in the world, and no one will even skip a beat.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you have something.
And that's good because you're breaking records.
Well, that's what I always felt.
Breaking his own records.
Right.
I'm breaking my own records, and on top of that, I'll break anybody else's record. So if you want me to break your record, send it to me, and I'll play it. You know? You might have to charge you, but... No, I'm just kidding. I always support all the artists, man, because listen, in this game, we're only so much. We can only play the music. Without the crowd, we're nothing. Without the music, we're nothing.
So basically, if your shit's hot, Sinatra will play.
So if you got the fire, send me the fire, DJ Sinatra, hit me on the gram, hit my Snapchat, you know, if you have the passion, my thing is I want to know if you have the passion, if you have the fire, do you have the dedication, are you really really willing to work in the studio every single day, in, day out, no breaks, no nothing. That's the hunger you have to have. There's no one else is going to do it for you. That's the reality of it, you know? And when people say, oh, I want to do music, I'm like, yeah, do music. Okay, show me. We're in the studio every day sometimes, you know, and we look at each other and I'm like, where's everybody? And I'm not knocking the guys that I'm working with, because those guys are working. They're working in multiple studios. They're not just with us, but we want people that want to work. So if you're hitting me up and you're like, yo, I got this, I got that, and then all of a sudden, you know where to be found when it's time to work, then you're not that serious. So we're not really interested in that. You know, we want people that got that
It's that drive.
That drive. And the
It's the
same
drive.
passion that we have, I need the people that I'm working with to have.
Yep.
That's the only way it's going to work.
So talk to us about this shirt and jacket that you're wearing.
Scam artist, you know. Shout out to the whole Scam family. Sujin, what up? Christine, Jess, you know what I'm saying? Lewis, everybody over there. It's a great company. I signed with them last May. It's been an awesome ride so far. Like, they have so many of the top talent, and just to be included in that top talent in the DJ world, that alone is like, you know, gives me validation. It makes me feel like I've been hustling hard to get down with the Yankees. You know what I mean?
Well, you have representation. So
yeah, and I had representation. You know, I was with 4AM for a while. You know, we started a company from scratch, and we made big strides. You know, like it helped me get to that point.
Yep.
And that's the whole thing. It's like, you know, it's not about who represents you. It's just really what you have to do to make these people have something to offer and to sell. Like, if they can only do so much. A club in Vegas is not just gonna book you because, you know, you're down with Scam. You have to be an ill DJ. You have to be able to bring people in the door. You have to be able to sell tables for them.
So what goes into that? So it's not just DJing today. It's
everything.
The
it's your
social
whole,
media,
it's everything.
right?
It's
So talk to us about what you're doing with your social media.
I mean, your social media is just everything. You have to be a personality. You have to have followers. You know, everybody knows that. You also have to be interesting. You know, you have to have the social media popping. If your social media is not popping, it's like you're not popping. You know, like it's not that anything knocking against you personally. It's just not what people are into. Like you don't have the fans that want to follow you. I might not have 1 million people scoping my Snapchat, but I'll tell you what, I got people looking at my Snapchat that won't like my photo, but they're looking to see what I'm doing.
Yep.
So I'm not even mad at them. I'm not even mad at them. Hit me on my Snapchat, DJ Sinatra, you know, just follow me. I bring all funny things. Like, I'm not even trying to talk about music all the time. I might have my girl making dinner or something. Like, I might put my dog on there. Like, I might be in the function house hanging out with my crew, you know, like everybody.
So we got a question from the audience.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they want to know.
Shout out to the audience, man.
Do you shower with that hat?
Yes, I do shower. I shower. I've occasionally had sex with it on. I wake up in the morning. I have a cup of coffee. I put it on. I have a piece of toast.
How many hats do you have? 'Cause I know you have a serious hat.
Yo, my hacking.
Do you put butter on the toast?
Nah, like, yeah, a little butter, a little cream cheese.
Nice.
Yeah, the hat game. I mean,
They're not cheap, these hats either.
nah, man, we don't get the cheap shit. You could get the canal. Touch my hat, Ant. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to wear one of the function. You're trying to get me to wear one of the
You
function.
gotta wear one of those hats.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it like this. What, don't work like that?
It looks like
It's
a
all right.
fireman.
Yeah, you know, it's like it's a top shotter.
That shit
It's
looks
dope though,
tight.
man. The Function House, you see us, man. Live streaming every Tuesday. Hopefully they'll use this clip for a commercial,
So
and I can get a check.
brought some of the people that you're working with here. Who's here?
Well, we got, yeah, man. This is gonna be
is
something.
gonna be a great
Listen,
show.
we haven't planned any of this. This is nothing
Well, it's live
rehearsed.
TV, man.
It's live. I'm going off the rip. We're doing this from our hearts, you know. Like, I brought out Cups from Philly with the crew. You know what I'm saying? I got Zach downtown in here with the crew. Daytona's on the way. I got Pharaoh on the way. Now, if anybody of those guys don't show up, don't expect any more spins in the club. You know what I'm saying? Because one hand washes the other and both hands washes the face.
All right, so what we're
We
gonna
got
do
that on
is
tape.
we're gonna take like a 5-minute break. We're gonna get Sinatra on the turntables,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna put on a little show for you.
Yeah, it's going to be lit, man. Trust us. Don't go anywhere. Function House, DJ Sinatra, the La Cocina family. Shout out to them. Let's go. Come on. Woo!
We'll be back in a few.
Yahtzee.